Okay, welcome to the tips for the 30th of November 2024. If we take a quick look at how we are going, if you'd taken all of the odds at a liability or all of the selections at any odds at a liability of $30, you'd be up $36.80. Had you taken it at $3,000, you'd be up just over $3,000. That's on essentially a total staked volume of $175 and a total staked liability of 27,420, which is really what you're risking. And it's not really the volume backside in this laying experiment. So that's currently showing a profit on turnover on staked of 21% and a profit on turnover of the liability being 0.13%, which is always going to be lower than 1%, given that most of our selections are above $100. Had you stuck within the odds, it has not gone as bad with 514 selections, and we're down $16.55. That is because all of the selections which have won have come within the odds. So those that have actually lengthened have all been profitable and have not lost. So let's quickly jump into what we have for today. So there's about 20 odd selections for today, and I'm going to start with Rosehill. So we got race 2, number 17, which is outclassed. It hasn't won in the wet. I'm willing to risk that up to $300. We've then jumped to Caulfield, race 3, number 3. Number 3 really needs these long races, probably 3,000 metres plus. This race is only, I think, 2,400 metres, and it's outclassed in this race, so I'm willing to go up to the $400 range. Then we've got Doomben race 2, where we've got two selections, number 3 and 9. Number 3 on its current form is not doing so great. It's not great on a wet track, and the odds are fairly low for it, so I'm willing to go up to the $50 on that one. Obviously, a bit more of a risk being lower odds. And number 9, it's a massive step up in class. I can't see it winning this one, so I'm willing to go up to the $1,000 odds. Then we have Doomben race 9, number 12. It appears to hate wet tracks, has not done well on wet tracks at all, very far back. It's also outclassed in this race. I'm willing to go up to $150. Then we got Morphettville race 1, where I'm taking on two of the selections, both up to the odds of 1,000. So number 2, it's, again, too big a jump in class. It's outclassed in this race. It's had 8 runs for 0 wins. And number 7, which is also outclassed, it hasn't been closer than 7 lengths. I can't see it improving on that. So, again, up to the $1,000 odds. Then we've got Morphettville race 8, number 13. It's a $251 fixed odds on the TAB. Given that it's almost an automatic selection, it's going to go off at 1,000 to 1 on Betfair, and it's had 1 win from 38 starts. I cannot remember a TAB fixed odds selection winning at 251 when they've been at that price. So automatic selection there, laying it at 1,000 in the odds. Then we jump to Ascot, where the main racing is. Ascot race 1, number 14 and number 20 in this race. Number 14 is outclassed. It's still stepping up in its distance, and I think it needs another 200 metres, so I'm willing to go up to $120. And number 20, it's up in class, it's out of form. It's going to end up at the back of the field. It's not going to be able to run past this massive field, even if there are a few scratchings that happen. So I'm willing to go up to the $1,000 odds on that one. Then Ascot race 2, number 7. It's a tough race. It has some potential, this horse. It could be in the place getters for this race, but I just don't see it winning. As such, I am only putting up the odds at $60. Then we've jumped to Ascot race 8, where we've got numbers 14 and 16. Number 14, I think this distance is too short. It's in a wide barrier, and it likes to lead, and that barrier is not going to help it. So willing to go up to the 150. And number 16 is up in class. Again, another one in a wide barrier in what is a 1,200 metre race. Likely to be right at the back, won't be able to pass the other horses, so willing to go up to $400. Then we've got one race out at Kempsey, race 3, number 9. it's outclassed. The closest it's been in its last 10 races is 8 lengths from the winner, willing to go up to $200. Then Yarra Valley, we've got a few here. So race 1, number 8, has had 8 races for 0 wins, and it hasn't even been close, and it's up in class, so I'm willing to go up to $1,000 in the odds. And Yarra Valley, race 3, numbers 9 and 11. Number 9, I do expect some improvement on the last run, but not enough to win. But again, I put the odds pretty short at $50. And then we have number 11, which has been struggling in all of its races. I don't expect the soft ground is going to be to its liking, so I'm willing to go up to $200. Then we have Yarra Valley race 4. Number 13 has had 6 runs and hasn't been close. I'm willing to go up to 100. And number 14 has had 37 runs for no wins. It's just going around to make up the numbers again, only up to 100. That race, I couldn't really find a winner. That is why the odds are fairly low on that one. Then we're out to Gold Coast. So race 5, number 10. This horse is in a wide barrier, and it hasn't trialled since it had its first run, which wasn't great. I don't see it improving what it needs to do to win this, but it's possible you should be a little bit cautious, and it can improve. Willing to go up to the $400 in the odds for this one. And then Gold Coast race 7. So I've gone numbers 3 and 19. Now, number 3 is in a wide barrier, and the trials that it has had have not been good, and some of those have been on similar ground to today, and it's done fairly poorly. So it's a first starter. I'm willing to only go up to the $50, but I don't see it winning. And number 19 has had its chances in its first 2 runs to impress, and it really hasn't done much. I'm willing to go up to the $1,000 odds. Then we jump to Toowoomba's race 4, number 15. It's up in class, had 17 races, 0 wins. I've gone 120 because I can't see what wins the race, but I don't think it's this horse. And Toowoomba race 5, number 5, it's just simply outclassed in this race. I'm willing to go to $100. It's not completely outclassed in a no hope. It still has the potential, if it improves, to put in a good showing. Then we have the 3 meetings which did not, have been abandoned today. We're not going to have any horses or races there today. I do live near Kembla Grange. It is a mess today here. Very foggy, very wet. Definitely wasn't going to go ahead. So I will leave it there. I will get some tips up again tomorrow. Hopefully we have a few more races on. It's been very soft ground today. It didn't look like many of the tracks were heavy, just in the soft category, which is good. And there wasn't many that were good tracks either. So it's going to be an interesting day where we now have a few horses running around that do like soft ground, that haven't raced for a while. Be interesting to see how they do. This is generally a time when the form doesn't really hold up from previous races. So will be very interesting to see. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'm hoping we can get close to the 950 tips by the end of tomorrow, which will put us in contention to get to the 1,000 tips next weekend. Then I can go back and do some analysis and see how is it actually going. Has it worked? Is it something that's worth continuing, or is this something that just does not pay enough for the time spent on it? But it's been a very interesting run to get up to the 1,000 selections. So very interested to see what it looks like when I get to that 1,000. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments and I will get back to you. And if you're having a punt today, good luck. Keep in mind, very wet out there. Could be some surprise winners today, which always makes for a fun day of racing. Okay, thanks for watching the video, and come back tomorrow for Sunday's tips.